See, it's so. Oh man, it's unfortunate. I would think by 29 or in your late 20s. I don't know how. And this is just men in general. Not even. We're just going to take that story and toss it to the 20 somethings in general. You would think by then you got it. You know you don't fall for them type of chicks. You should have seen enough of the game to understand what kind of game that they running, especially when you got good men in your life that's supposed to give you the game. Now, if he's falling, that means she put that wop shebang on him.
But you know what? They all so what I'm saying, there's nothing
Right.
different about this woman who's different from all the other women who they usually go for, right? And so I think that these women know what these guys, they study it, right? They give you, they know exactly what you want. They find themselves in the right places, the right time, looking the right kind of way to just get into your head, right? And I'm like, why don't these guys see that's what's going on? I don't understand.
So you made a statement that's completely inaccurate because you don't get to date women. There's something different about every single one of them.
Yeah,
There's
I don't get that.
something different about every single one of them. And if she's tapped into his mental and she put that wop shebang on him, my boy is gonna have to learn this lesson. It's unfortunate.
He ain't
He
gonna
ain't gonna
learn
listen.
nothing. Listen, he got a great mentor in me.
I don't
Mm,
I
I don't
will
know.
pop up at the game and show out. You heard him if you want to.
No, I don't
I
know,
will
AP.
turn
I
into
think a lot of
crazy
them are the same,
shit
man.
over my
no,
Especially
there's something different about every single one of them. I didn't say that their differences were huge,
right.
but for example, that's one has figured out that you like to play Scrabble. So she learned to play Scrabble so that she could get more of whatever she was trying to get from you. So you got one that'll use her brain. Then you got one that's figured out that figured out if
Might
she
be a
moves
keeper.
it, yeah, slightly to the left, you do that your right leg does a shake,
so
and you
she
like
can't
that
she
shake in the
enjoy
right
she
leg. So
enjoy that
there's
shit
always
every night.
and again, once a woman actually taps in from that physical into that man's mental, whatever lesson he's gonna learn, he's gonna have to learn it from that because he in most cases he won't be able to separate it, and it's just gonna be a hard ass lesson to learn. It
He
is
said
what it is.
he knows I do this show, and he said he didn't mind being a guest on my show. I was like, I'm not gonna let you do that either.
Oh no, don't they?
I was like, nah, I'm not gonna even throw you out here to these wolves. You don't want no part of this.
Yeah, Viz and HD, Viz and HD, wear his ass out. Pause.
Yeah, he not ready for this conversation. Mm-mm.
Speaking of not ready for the conversation, I know who ain't been talking down there on in that bottom corner.
Now she cutting that money. She is
I'm
counting
listening.
money.
I have a little bit of a crisis, so I was crisising as I was listening. As a
What the register
crisis.
came up short.
Well, one of my servers, she's a bartender too, and some days, she goes back and forth, and he clocked in under the wrong thing. So basically, yeah, it looks like everything's short, but I just I can't see it. Like where and what, why and how. And it's okay. It's fine. We're gonna just, I don't like to stay here too late. So, we gotta call it quits at some point. Then we come back with a brand new mind, brand new thoughts in the morning. That's what we do. You
That's a
know,
fact.
that's what
Sometimes
you
you
got. You
that's a
got
good
it.
lesson for everybody. Sometimes you just got to step away. I promise you, the work ain't going nowhere.
It ain't going nowhere. It'll be here. It'll be
And
here.
and I think that because one thing I agree with Viz, I like to move towards solution. And one of the things that what Miss Polly was talking about is something that actually can remove the stress from a day. If you just drop it, let it go because it's gonna be there tomorrow.
Don't
I
wait. I'm
promise it'll be there tomorrow.
waiting for you. Don't worry. I'll be up before you.
And then when you get the opportunity to look at something with fresh eyes and a fresh mind, It gives you a whole different perspective than what you had the day before.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to go play basketball. Sometimes you just got to go play video games. Sometimes you got to go break the headboard open. It is what it is.
Yeah, I can't remember who said it, but there's a quote that you can't solve a problem with the same mind mentality that created it. And
Mm,
uh, one
hmm
of the things that one of the things that Abraham Lincoln used to do was they would say if he was ever conflicted with a issue or a problem, he would go for a walk and then come back and reapproach the situation. So yeah, no, I'm definitely, for me as a creative, if I ever get into a space where I have a creative block, I'll put it down, um, have a pomerado or some shit like that, where you take this break and just disconnect from whatever it is that you're doing and engage in something else, and then come back to it. You kind of replenish yourself. So
hmm
I do agree with that.
Yeah, and I know that was kind of off subject of what we were talking about. I just feel like when the opportunity presents itself, go ahead and speak on it.
Yeah, I don't think that there's too many solutions uh with this issue, supposedly, just because um I mean, prostitution has been, sex workers have been one of the oldest jobs since the beginning of time. So
Facts.
I don't think that there's necessarily a solution to it, aside from um, not allowing people to feel as comfortable with it in public, in a public setting.
So so to piggyback off of that, yeah, and you're right, it's literally the oldest profession. But when the men and I'm gonna go back to Roman times, when the men would go off to war, the concubine would be in the rear. They would be the ones bringing up supplies, like I'm not talking about for the troops, but like food and stuff like that. But they had them in the rear for a reason, as a form of like shame. You're gonna be in the back. You're always gonna be looked down upon. And the only solution that I could see out of this mess that we're in is, instead of allowing this minority to have such a loud effing voice, shut them up, and then shame those that are practicing that negative behavior, and see if that works.